Hi there, today I'm going to show you how you can take a book that you've created within Pressbooks and pull that into Moodle using the LTI 1.3 integration. I'm also going to show you how you can configure a chapter as a graded activity so that you can record student grades from those H5P activities into the LMS gradebook. All right, so let's get started here. I've built a test book here, and the way I did that was just through the My Books option and creating a new book. When you create a new book for the first time, it's going to give you some test content here as a shell of a book. You can rename all of these sections. You can delete sections, add sections. But for today, we're just going to work with what we've been given here. So I'm going to go in, and since we do want to showcase what this looks like to connect some H5P activities into the gradebook, I will add at least one activity into chapter 1 here. So let's open up the editing interface, and I'm just going to insert a activity onto this line here. So I will click Add H5P. I'm going to select this particular activity, and then I'm just going to hit Save. And I'm going to add this to be configured for a grade recording. So under the text editor up here, you're going to see a new window for LMS grade reporting. And here's where you're going to add all of those H5P activities from the chapter that you would like to be graded. Now you get to pick and choose which activities will be graded. So it's up to you to add those activities in here. If you want everything in the chapter to be graded, you're going to add them all. If you only want to select a few, you would only include those that you want graded. So in this case, I just have the one. So it was H5P ID 3, and I can see that from the short code up here. I'm going to click through and add that in. So I can see that this is a multiple choice type question. It's got a max score of 1, which means there's only one correct answer for that particular activity there. Now I've got a few other things that I can configure in here. For example, if I want to restrict the dates that these grades are being recorded from my students, I can do so. If I want to leave it open, I don't have to touch these. And then finally, I get to decide how I want this to be graded, whether I want to grade the student's last attempt, so their most recent attempt, or maybe I want to record their average, their best, or their first attempt. So that is my choice as an instructor. Okay, so now that we've got this configured, I'm just going to save everything once more. And we're good to go to proceed to export this text. So I'm going to go over to export here. And I'm going to export this book as a thin common cartridge export with LTI links. And specifically for Moodle, we'll be using the 1.1 version. Now, the common cartridge file 1.1 is not a direct correlation to the LTI integration we're using. I know the numbers are very similar, but rest assured, we are still using the LTI 1.3 integration. It's just that Moodle supports this particular common cartridge file type. So now that I've explained that, let's go ahead and export this book. I've got it exported here. I'm going to download it. And let's go over to our empty course within Moodle. So I've got a blank slate over here. I'm going to go through and pull in some new content. So if I click the little gear icon here, I'm going to want to click through to restore. And from here, I can drag and drop my file, or you can search from your computer. We're going to restore this course, and we are just going to click through to the end. We want to restore it into this course since we already have one created. So I will click continue. And we are going to go through to the end here. So these are the sections you saw. I had just 3 tiny chapters in there that were already provisioned for me. So I'm just going to pull all of those in. And we are going to complete this import here. All right, so now I've pulled in my content. Now, if I click through, the first time this content has been pulled in, you're going to see this error message that says unknown export format. There is just a quick little workaround that you have to do within your course to, sorry, I navigated away there. Let's go back to my course here to just make sure that those chapters turn up. And then all you have to do is click edit, and we're going to go to edit settings here. And if you just saw that, it was very fast, but it took about less than a second, and this green check mark appeared. And it says that it is officially now using the LTI 1.3 configuration. So that's what we want to see. and we want to save and display this chapter. And now you're going to see the content actually appear. So you do just need to go through chapter by chapter in order to just have it so that your students can see the content there. All right, so now I've gone back to the course view. I've actually logged in here as a student so we can showcase what it looks like when the student accesses this content. And specifically, I'm going to show you what it looks like when a student goes through, attempts an activity, and actually receives that grade. So let's go into our one chapter that allows for grading in here. So I'm going to go through, there is just one question as an option here. Which of the following is a poor example of presentation preparation? So I would say this last one would be a poor example, just preparing once 10 minutes before. So let's go through and check that. Great, I got 1 out of 1, so I should expect 100% on this particular chapter. So let's see if it recorded my grade in the LMS gradebook. So if I navigate back over here, there we go. We can see that I've got a 100% on that particular chapter. And then if we go back into the teacher view, you will be able to see that as well. Thank you so much for attending today's demo. And if you have any questions, you can reach me at sales@pressbooks.com. Thank you so much.